Good morning, everyone. Kansas Sports HQ here on this beautiful Easter Monday. Season 2, Episode 9. Today, we're going to meet Tobi Stoner, former New York Mets, friend of ours, and talk about his journey to the big leagues and some of those adventures that he's had. But as always, first and foremost, how's everybody's day? How was your weekends?
Tobi is no friend of Sean and Tom, considering he was a Met. He might be walking into the Lions den here.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm in a really good mood. I don't feel like jumping off nobody's head today.
I'm just interested to see this story that I supposedly know, but I'm not sure that I know.
Oh, there's Tobi right there. What's up, dude? How are you?
Doing well, guys. Good morning.
Morning. Sheldon doesn't necessarily remember you, but we played on Ransom together.
Oh, how do you not remember Ransom?
I do remember Ransom, but that was like a long, long time ago. I'm a face guy. It takes me a second, so I got to be able to see you again. And now that I see you, I do remember your face.
Good deal.
Ransom was a long time ago, though. That was a lot of fun.
I moved back to Maryland 11 years ago, so it's been a little bit.
Yeah. You're in Maryland right now?
Been a long time.
Yeah, back in my hometown, yeah.
Awesome.
So Tobi, our goal here is, we reach out and chat with, obviously, people we've been in contact with and things like that. Our big goal is to share journeys and what the athletes, maybe need to hear as they're coming up, because we grew up in a different time where, hard work pays off versus taking days off and all that good stuff. And I know you have a cool story because you obviously played in the MLB, and that's a solid thing, and it's baseball season. So we have Sean Cutler, Najee Armbrister, obviously Sheldon whenever his computer quits acting up, because he's in and out of our chat every now and then, but he can hear us, and then me. So Tobi, kind of talk to us about you, and we'll start asking questions.
Okay. So I got drafted in 06. Went 16th round for the Mets. And I climbed my ladder from rookie ball all the way up to the big leagues. I made it in 09 for a September call up. 2010, I thought I was going to break camp as number 5 starter, but got sent back down to AAA as our ace with like 2 or 3 days left of camp, which I was heartbroken when that happened. But and I got called up. I don't know if you guys remember the St. Louis Cardinal Mets like 20-inning game, like whatever. Like I got called up that night. I was watching
Baseball
the game.
guys? Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was a really long time ago.
Yeah.
That was 2010. Yeah.
Yeah, like I wasn't able to. I remember it. I definitely watched the highlights of the game before.
Naj
yeah.
was 10.
Yes, 100%.
Oh wow, no, I'm getting old.
Really?
Yeah,
maybe-
but so I was laying in my hotel room watching that game when my manager called me and was like, "Hey, you're going to St. Louis tomorrow. They need an arm." And I was next up in rotation for to start. So I came out of the bullpen up there. But and then I had surgery in August of that year, and I rehabbed in AA in 2011. Just never got back to 100%, and I got released in March of 12. I tried to play some independent ball. That I don't know, just really wasn't for me. I tried it, but it was, you get guys out of there I was trying to get back to the league. I was trying to get back into, affiliation. And those guys up there are just kind of just playing beer league baseball. But it was, I don't know. I got frustrated a little bit with it, but it's neither here nor there. But yeah, so that was my journey with baseball. Well, professional baseball anyway.
What's your favorite story to tell? I already know the answer to this, but the one story that you've told me is always fun because the prolific hitter that you got out.
Speaking of that 20-inning game, so the guy, I walked the guy before him, and I I always turn around. I get the ball from the catcher, right? I always turn around and face the outfield, and I kick dust my feet off of the rubber, the dirt off the rubber, and I turned around and there's Albert Pujols in the box, and I was like, oh, oh. So here it comes. Like it's faced, probably one of the greatest to ever step in the box. He almost got me. He hit it to the warning track. He almost got me.
That's awesome.
So let's backtrack all the way into like your high school style ball. Like, did you play travel ball, that kind of stuff? Lead us through high school into college. The jumps that you had to make to do that, because this is the big point for us, is like your work ethic, what you did outside of traditional programming and stuff like that.
Okay, so travel ball wasn't a thing when I was coming up. We have a local little league. You had the minor league, and it's all one park really. So you got a small field, then you got the little league field, and right beside it you have the senior league field, which is 60 feet, 90 feet bases. And the only time we traveled was when we made the All-Star team. So we didn't have our league, and then next weekend you got to go travel somewhere downstate or across country or wherever to play. The only time we traveled was when it was All Stars. Everything we did growing up was in house in the town. We had so many kids out and so many teams. The park was rocking all the time. But so played at different levels. And another thing, and I don't know how things are out there in Kansas or in different states, but when I got 9 years old is when I started Little League. Like I played against 12-year-olds. We're on the same field. I had to face a 12-year-old pitcher as a 9-year-old. I had to, I had to pitch to 12-year-olds as a 9-year-old. You played in that age bracket. And then when I went up to we called it senior league, we went up to that next level, which was the 60 feet pitching, 90 feet bases. It was 13-16. Like I was facing 16-year-olds as a 13-year-old. Which I really believe that helped me get better. Playing up. Now I hear about, kids playing 10U, 11U, 12U, or whatever. They're staying in that age bracket, which is fine. I just don't know anything about that because I've always played. I played Little League from 9 to 12, played the whole way. Senior League 13 to 16, and then from that you went to high school, and then you played Legion ball and stuff like that. But then going into I was never, you talk about work ethic and stuff like that. I was never, listen, I was a freshman in high school at 130 pounds. I was not big. I didn't hit a growth spurt until probably after high school. Like I graduated high school at 175 pounds and still wasn't that big. That's not huge, but I love the game, and I didn't let anybody beat me when I played it. I wanted to learn every position. I wanted to be the best at every position. Um, Going out on my dad would wake me up at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning on summer mornings, and we'd go out to the ball field, and I was taking ground balls, I was taking fly balls, I was pitching, I was hitting. If I missed a ground ball, I had to run out to the outfield to get it. I threw it back in, and then by the time my dad's hitting me a pop up, that I had to run from left field to right field and dive to catch it. Like it was just all about work, 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 but it was fun work. It was because I love the game, so it was. I felt like I was playing the whole time. It was awesome.
When you were in high school, did you play multiple sports, or were you just a single sport athlete pretty much the whole time?
I played baseball and football.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And again, for people listening, I strongly encourage multiple sport.
Yeah.
Strongly encourage it. I'm 100% behind that. Because I mean, one of two things. If you're just baseball, 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 or basketball, basketball, or football, 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 and that's all you're doing, you could get burnt out. You're gonna get to a point where you're gonna need a break, right? So if you're playing baseball in the spring, and through the summer, well, you probably don't want to go play. I mean, some people do, and I'm not taking against them, but fall ball, I took a break. I played football, so that was like a break from baseball, and then I got to play some football, and then when the winter came, I had a couple months off because I didn't play basketball, and then got back into the throwing program for rotating and back into spring. So I really believe dual sport athletes are phenomenal.
Yeah, I think something we've seen and we talk about quite a lot on the podcast is we have athletes that are playing they might be a single sport athlete, but they're playing on 2, 3 teams at a time in this day and age, which I think is wild. But then we also have a lot
Yeah.
of dual sport athletes that are playing year round, right? They're playing literally the same sports all throughout now, right? So like you have basketball teams that play all through the summertime into the fall, back into the wintertime. You got baseball that's playing pretty much all year round except for those couple months in the wintertime. So there's just everybody's kind of teeter tottering. You're either on one end of the scale or the other. It doesn't seem like there's as many people that are kind of in the middle where it's like they're taking time for development, they're taking time to try new things and do different things. There's a lot of like way over the top, and then there's a lot of people that aren't doing nearly enough, and that in between trying to find that balance kind of seems like sometimes that's kind of going by the wayside. So we talk about that quite often. Obviously, we run a performance enhancement school here, so we do a lot of athletic development and we work with kids, understanding their bodies, getting faster, getting stronger, that type of stuff. And utilizing the time between, their sports schedules to be able to try and put them on the right track to be able to develop athletically. So that kind of leads me into my question was, when did you start, really starting to take that side of things seriously, right? Like, so in high school, you said, you graduated roughly around, that 170-pound mark, 175, whatever it was. And then obviously you hit a growth spurt, so like, when did you start to really focus on like, okay, here's where I need to get better at. This is what I need to work on to be able to make it into the next level. And then what was kind of your thought process behind that?
I never hit I never had a time frame in my life where I was like, I'm going to work harder, faster, stronger. It was I always put the work in. But when it became like a routine, like a regiment, was well to junior college. Like that was a big leap. Um, yeah, I went from high school to a junior college, which that athletically, junior college is not. I played JUCO, and I don't want to shake a stick at that because there's some there's some athletes that play JUCO ball. And they have the athleticism, the baseball. I played against some amazing players in JUCO ball that maybe they just didn't have the smarts to go to Clemson or to go to uh, KU or to go to Vanderbilt. They didn't have the brains to go to those D1 schools and held at that scholastic level, but they could play beside anybody on the field. And again, that's when I feel like that's when it went from like just we got a high school team, we're pretty good, to now everybody on that college team was they're there to play. They're not there just because. A lot of people play high school ball now or for the social aspect. Well, my buddies play, so I'm going to play, or I just want to I want to get the uniforms, or I want the sweatsuits, or I want to go play. I want to travel, whatever. But
Mhm.
when you get to college, it's like that's work. You're there for a reason, especially if you're on scholarship. That you're getting paid now. At today's game is a whole different ball game, but you're getting scholarship to play baseball there. So now you need to deliver, and you got to do what you got to do to make that happen. So I think when it became, if you want to call it a man's sport, is when I hit college. Because that's again, I was 17 when I graduated high school, so I went right into college, and I'm playing with 22-year-olds. So
Where'd you go to JUCO?
um, a local college, Garrett College.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
I was a JUCO bandit, so I know all about that.
yeah.
JUCO ain't easy.
It
Like
ain't
No,
JUCO
easy.
no,
JUCO
it's
is
not.
hard.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a grind
It's a grind, and
every
those
yep.
dudes are
day.
there. I mean, it's I don't know. Like
It's a
JUCO to me is about my example is like it's about as close to you know military training without it being in the military. Like
facts.
they
Yes.
That's facts.
there's a coach on every JUCO roster out there on that staff that their job is just to try and kill you basically.
Yeah.
So, and they just never stop. So, It's wild, but and like you said, I think it's where you decide very, very quickly whether or not the sport that you say you love, if you really love it or not, because
That
you're gonna get
yeah.
exposed pretty fast. I mean, we had more guys quit in the fall than any team that I had ever been a part of. It was just like, hey, where'd that kid go today? And they're like, oh no, he quit. And it's
Mhm.
like, what?
That
Like, bro, it's
that's
day two.
separating the that's
Like
Day
it.
separating
two.
the guys who want to be there and do what it
Hmm.
takes to be there. You're gonna I mean, bluntly, it sucks.
Yeah.
It does. Like I remember you said day two. You're like, where'd he go? Day one, I promise you, I can't make this up. My coach was a jacked. He ran every day. His son, a couple years younger than me, wrestler. They ran miles daily. Like that's what they did, right? So we're right across the street from where my field was. There was this long road driveway, and it essed up and it hit this incline, which was probably if I was at 75 yards, but it was an incline. Like I'd be scared to come down it in wintertime because it's how steep it is. Um, and my coach was like, this was day one, minute one. We had our meeting at the dugout, blah blah blah. He's like, all right, guys, we're gonna run up. We're gonna run. I want you to run up, and we're gonna do 7 sprints up that hill, that incline. Walk down, sprint up, walk down. Whenever the last one gets back down, we're running back. Don't let me pass you. I was like, oh my, this is. I, he told me about this, and I was losing breath. Like I was like, this is real. And in high school, we had a shortstop. He was a stud. I played second base when I didn't pitch, and he played shortstop. And I played shortstop when he pitched, and but whatever. But he was good, and he quit day one. He after that run, he never played baseball again.
Yep.
And he was good. Like he was good, real good. And I
Yeah.
was like, you just you
JUCO is a different world, man. It's wild there.
yeah.
But what did you do? So after JUCO, obviously you were successful there. Had to have done some good things. What was kind of your, next steps from Garrett going into? Did you go to a 4 year? Did you, did
Yeah.
you get drafted out of there? What happened on the story?
So going back to Legion ball, which overlapped with JUCO.
Hmm.
So summer ball was Legion, and there's this thing called Hillbilly Hardball Classic in Elkins, West Virginia, about an hour and a half from here, and it's a big tournament, teams from all over, and we play on 2 fields. There's a field in town, and there's a field at the Davis and Elkins College where I ended up going to school, but I was the coach, of course, the head coach for the college there. Of course, he's at the field, he's maintaining the field, everything's good during the tournament, and he actually recruited me through that summer ball. I played 2 years there. I think I threw a no hitter one summer there. Next one I forget what I did, but I did. I had 2 pitching games that I just dominated, and also I swung the bat. I played positions. I played shortstop for Legion, but he was like, and actually not toot my own horn, but I just got inducted into the Garrett College Hall of Fame a couple months ago, and
Oh,
Congrats,
yeah,
man.
congrats!
so
That's awesome.
thank you. I appreciate that. So,
We got a Hall of Famer on here.
Mhm.
That's a first.
well, thank you. And
Yeah.
but my part of my speech was that my college coach, when he went to the athletic director at D&E, he was like, "Listen, I want this kid. I don't, I don't know what it is, but he has it. I don't know what it is, but he has it, and I want him." So they end up, scrounging the money to got my scholarship to go there, and he did whatever it took to make it happen. But I had whatever it was, and I still don't know what it is. I felt like I was just out playing the game as hard as I could and playing the game right, and that goes back to my high school coach. Um, you know, demanded respect the game. Play hard. You didn't wear your hat backwards. You didn't walk on the field. If you're on the field, you're running, you're jogging, you're hustling, you're doing something. You're never walking anywhere. The only time you walk is like when you get your lead, you take your secondary lead, you walk back to the bag if you're not getting thrown out. Like that's it. There's no walking on the field. And he demanded respect. And heck, I'll tell you a quick story. I was in the box right-handed. I hit a one hopper a laser beam to first base. He one hop, caught the ball, tagged the base at first base. I didn't get out of the box, but I jogged down to first base. It was the third out of the inning. I jogged at home. It was at our home field, and I jogged to first base. I was out before I got out of the box. I never jogged to first base again. My coach, I'm still hearing him yell at me, and this was back in 2002. Like he is still, and he's one of my best friends to this day. And I'm like, I was out before I got out of the box, but I still didn't run. And that he instilled that in me about respect the game. You're playing the game hard. Don't disrespect the game ever. I don't care what level you're at. And that's another thing that bothers me about watching these guys. You watch the college baseball. You watch these guys hit home runs, and they throw their bat up in the air 25 feet, and then they walk to first base. Like, you want to talk about making me mad? I get mad about it because that's not the game that I grew up playing. It's all about that show, and I understand it's entertainment. I get that. I do, but baseball is such a humbling sport. Like, that dude might have hit a home run and threw the bat 25 feet in the air, but he will strike out when that game-winning run is on third, and he's going to walk his butt back to the dugout with his head hanging low because he lost the game because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I just, that type of stuff, man, baseball is so humbling, it's not even funny. You're never better than the game. Never. I don't care what level you are. You're never better than the game. But I went on a rant there. I apologize.
No,
But
I
we
like that.
love that. We love that.
I have a question after that.
yes, sir.
Do you feel like, is there any appropriate time to bat flip? That's a quality question. Like, if I walk it off, is that appropriate to do at that time, or do you still feel like that's? Because I agree, there's sometimes kids like kind of overdo it with the bat flip. Sometimes you could have a little mini one in there, but some of these kids nowadays overdo it. So I want to know if there's like an appropriate time to do like an emotional bat flip. Is what I'll call it.
I know. I'm an emotional guy.
Okay.
I'm emotional. Like, if your heart's not in it, you're not emotional. So, or if you're not emotional, your heart's not in it. So you shouldn't be out there on the field anyway. So you got to play with emotion. You got to play with that excitement and that attitude. There's a fine line, and it's a fine line between cocky and confident. Okay. Because if I'm out there on the mound, I'm going to face Albert Pujols. Yeah, he's one of the best hitters to ever step in the box. Not at one point was I like, do I have to pitch to him? No, I was like, I'm going to strap it on, and I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to give him what I got, and I'm going to go against the best. And yeah, sure, I might have a little cockiness to me in that aspect, but it stays for me as a pitcher. It stayed in that circle, right? When I got off the mound and I went back to the dugout, and I'm amped up and I'm excited because we did whatever. I just got a bases loaded strikeout with a game-winning run on third. I don't know, but you're amped up. Scream, hoot, and holler. But scream, hoot, and holler get excitement with your team. Don't turn your direction and face that dugout, that your opposing team, and talk crap to them. So going back to your bat flip question, sure, get excited. Like, you hit that ball and you know it's gone. You could flip the bat. It doesn't need to go touch the moon and back.
Okay.
It doesn't need to fly to the coach's box on first base. If you want to get excitement, you grab the bat, spike the bat on the ground, chuck it to the dugout. I don't care, but run it out. Don't walk. I was in so many, on the professional level, I was on so many bench clears because of ignorance.
Yeah.
It's just like one guy, I'll never forget, he hits a walk-off home run, does an airplane, arms, you can't see me, but arms spread wide as he could, and tilting his arms and running. He runs gets to the dugout, here's the baseline, runs in front of the dugout doing an airplane, and comes across. Well, guess what? Guess what happened next? Because it was a 3-game series. Guess what happened?
Yeah.
He wore one.
Yeah.
He wore one. And absolutely. And then he gets mad. Then we're obligated to come out of the dugout and obviously defend our player.
Yep.
Bro, that was self-inflicted.
Yep.
That was ignorant. You don't, you're never above the game. And I will preach that until I die. You are never better than baseball. Yep. Never. I don't care. Bryce Harper, I don't care. Albert Pujols, Derek Jeter. I don't care. Baseball's still bigger than you were. You'll ever be. And people need to realize that. And that drives me absolutely crazy. It drives me nuts, man. I could go on days and days and days. Like, it's hard for me to, because baseball is just so special. It's so special. And I hate that it's even allowed. Like if I was a coach and my kid threw a bat 25 feet in the air, he will never stop running. And he made one look for a different school. Because I don't care how good you are. I don't care how good you are. I don't want that on my team.
Yeah.
I want the game played right at a certain level. I want it played right. And I understand emotions, excitement. I love the excitement. I love it. Especially when it comes down to those exciting moments. You never know what's going to happen, and then the bomb goes off, and it's just crazy. But keep it within respect.
Yeah. I
mean, there's kids bat flipping walks now.
Oh,
the kids in this day and age are insane. Like there's, and you word it very well. There is a fine line, right? Like, and I'll tell you, obviously, with our college league, we got guys that come in from all across the world, right? Naj being one of those guys who's on the podcast with us, right? He comes from the Caribbean, where they have some different style of play and different attitudes about the game, and there's culture that's involved, and there's different things. And I think all of that stuff is good for the game. In my line, personal, like coaching, and then also just how I kind of, toe that line is whatever you're doing, as long as it's in our dugout and it's our house and it's our guys, I'm usually going to be okay with it. The moment that you bring in the other team into that, that's when that's the line for me, right? Like, so like if you want to do this and do whatever, like I don't care what you're doing, as long as it's towards our guys, then that's fine. Like you're talking to our guys, right? You're demonstrating to our guys. You're excited with our guys. You're celebrating with our guys. Like all of that type of stuff. As long as you ain't running around putting it on them, then I'm probably going to be able to defend you. But the moment that you go over and you're looking at them, you're getting closer to them, you're talking to them, now you're putting all of us into a position where it's like, well, shit. Now we got to defend your dumbass for doing it, because now we all represent the same thing that we got on our chest, and we can't let you sit out there on the island by yourself. Like, and so you just, you run that into the, I think you're getting into like the unwritten rules of baseball, kind of like you're starting to talk about some of that, but it's tough because kids in this day and age, they live in the moment. They live in the very instant gratification. Their brains are hardwired that way. As soon as something happens, and I think it falls on leadership, right? Like it falls on the coaching staff. It falls on the people that they have to have a standard. They have to set the standard. They have to abide the standard. And when somebody doesn't do it, then there's got to be punishment to that. Like, and I think that's where where I see a lot of programs that are failing in these day and ages is because you got these leaders that say it one way, but then do it a different way, or they let certain guys get away with certain things. And then, then that's not a standard at all. So you see all kinds of different stuff, but I love the passion for the game. I love the excitement to it. Like, I think it brings more eyeballs to the game. I think it brings more people around it, but I unequivocally agree with the fact that you got to know where that line is and you got to keep it with your guys. Like, because there's some, it's like second base celebrations. Like that's what every team does nowadays. We didn't really do that in my day.
Oh.
Like we didn't, we would do little things like looking at the dugouts, getting excited, fist bump, whatever. But like, they got some crazy shit nowadays. Like it's just like they get to second
Peeing on the fire hydrant.
Yeah, they got all kinds. It's like touchdown celebrations for hitting a double. Like it's just
listen.
It's wild.
Turn your gloves, cleats, and bats in, and put on a skirt and pom poms if you're going to be a cheerleader.
Oh wow!
I like that.
I love that.
If you're going to be a cheerleader, go be a cheerleader. There is a place for you in life to be a cheerleader. But if you want to be a ball player and you want to hype your team up, now you hit it. First of all, let me go back to your pimping to walk. What did you do? The guy bounced 2 curveballs, missed 3 feet outside, and threw one over the umpire's head. What did you do that was so spectacular?
Right.
Like you got on base. Sure, you might be the tying run. Or maybe you did have a good at bat, and you fouled off 5 or 6 balls, and you ended up getting a walk. Okay, you won that battle. Get your dugout fired up. Like let's go, guys. Get me in. I did what I had to do. Get me in. Not look at me. Look at me. No, stop. It's not an like if you want to be about me, if you want to be all about yourself, go wrestle. Go wrestle. Longest 6 minutes of your life, go wrestle. There's no one there to support you. There's no one there. It's going to be your win, your loss, your fail, your victory. It's on you. But when it comes to baseball, basketball, football, whatever, that you got 9 players on that field that each individual person has to represent. If you have one loose link in that chain, that chain's done. You have one cancerous, one piece of cancer. It spreads. I've been around it. I've been in it. You don't need respect the game and play the game right, play the game hard. And if you're sitting in there and as a coach and I got to tell you, hey, you guys going to talk up your team, blah, blah, blah. If I got to tell you, you're not in it. But also at the same time, I want you to get my dugout fired up. I want you to come in chest bumping. I want you to get mad. I want you to be angry. I want you to be excited. I want you to be emotional. But like you said, keep it in our house. Yeah. Don't take it across the lines. Because now we're having a different conversation.
No, it's a distraction too. Like it
totally
takes away everything from what the goal of the team should be. Now we're not worried about what we should be executing and trying to participate in. We're worried about what's our get back? How do we get these guys? And then it just turns into ego. Like you're playing egos at that point and doesn't usually pan out too well. But
no,
let's move on to you getting drafted, obviously going there. Let's talk about that a little bit. So across the table, both Sean and Naj here are big time Yankees fans. So when they heard that you were a Met, they didn't say anything, but I said it. So I figured their blood was boiling a little bit inside. So tell us a little bit about that. Were you drafted by the Mets, straight out the gate? Tell us that kind of story, what that phone call was like. Walk us through that, just the process some. And then how much do you hate the Yankees, I guess? Tell us about them too.
Well, let's go to that last question. I've always hated the Yankees. But before I was a Met, and I wish I would have been up there and got established and had full season to do that Subway series. That would have been wild. That would have been awesome. Oh, that would have been cool. But no, I got drafted in 2006, 16th round. Now, and can I back up to leading up to my getting drafted? This is for. Do you guys have a lot of listeners? A lot of up and coming players?
No, none at all, really. Okay. But we're gonna share it.
All right. Well, the reason I say this is because I wasn't the biggest, fastest, strongest growing up, right? And my senior year of college, it was called the WEVIAC, the West Virginia Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. West Virginia State at my year that I was my senior year, they were number three, and I don't think we were nationally ranked, but they were number 3, and they were a stud team. And I faced them earlier in the season at their place, and they destroyed me. I mean, I was on changeups that were getting ready to bounce, and they're golfing it down the right field line. It was one of those, tip your hat. I can't do nothing right. It was one of those, right? So, we're playing. It was we're playing in our conference playoff game, and Zach Baldwin, who actually went to pitch with the Nationals, and me in our conference, we were 1 and 2 in every category. It was ERA, he was number 1, I was number 2. Strikeouts, I was number 1, he was number 2. Walks, we were 1 and 2. You couldn't tell who was 1 and who was 2. We were both the heavyweights, and it came down to he and I pitching against each other in our conference playoff, and I ended up throwing. I think I threw, and kids don't do this, but I was leaving it all out on the table. I think I threw 132 pitches, 134 pitches or something.
Dog.
I mean, I was leaving it all out on the table. I don't think I threw a pitch under 89. I think I was pumped. And I ended up going against Zach, lefty, big lefty, call him Big Country. And I don't know if he went 6 or 7 innings. I can't remember. But anyway, I found out later on down the road that he was asked to take out of the game. You would have had to put me on a stretcher to take me out of the game. I promise you, my coach could have came out and I told him to get back to the dugout. I'm not coming out of this game. But we were winning 1-0. 1-0, bottom of the ninth inning. And 2 outs to a lefty. 2-2 count, and I drop a 12-6. I mean, no question. I'll get right there my glove and celebrate because we just beat the number 3 team, which I essentially did. I mean, I'll take that. I beat them because I threw that perfect curveball. Anyway, now it got called ball. Next pitch, full count. Now I'm mad. Young, dumb, full of testosterone. I didn't get the call that I should have got. So what I do that next pitch? I want to throw as hard as I possibly could. Ball 4. So now their next guy, David Taylor, is a righty, and he had a walk-off home run to beat me in the bottom of the ninth inning. I dropped to the mound. I was done. The only thing that kept me going was the adrenaline, the passion, the competitiveness to keep going. I dropped to the ground. Their coaches, Kyle Bailey, who's now he's just a saint through the college baseball, but he's passed away. But he came from third base, and Coach Nazelrod came from first base. Their coaches, they picked me up off the ground. Their team just won the game, and they picked me up off the ground. And they said, "Toby, don't you dare hang your head. You deserve to win this game." Their coaches told me this. They both said, "You deserve to win this game." Well, my coach he went under the stadium. He was looking for the umpire. He was ready to go fight, kill him. I don't know what he's going to do, but he was going to do something. Come to find out, which I didn't know this at the time, which it was irrelevant, but that umpire that was behind the plate was alumni of Cal Bailey, played under him years prior. Didn't know that, had no, which whatever, got a home umpire if you want to call it that. But so that pitch, that 2-2 curveball is, believe it or not, as of about 5 years ago, I spoke to an umpire that was umpiring the bases. Of that game. And he said, "Toby, you absolutely, that was 100% strike." But he told me that single pitch was still being talked about in the WEVIAC conference amongst umpires. Still being talked about. And that was back in 2006. So, I mean, 10 years, 11 years, 12 years, 15 years maybe. But anyway, when going through the line, you get good game, you high five everybody across home plate. Every single one of their players gave me a hug. It wasn't even a high five. It was a hug. Every single one of their players gave me a hug coming through that line. So I'm done. I have nothing left in me. I feel like I got hit by a car. My girlfriend was with me at the time, and she was waiting with me, and she was dragging my bag. I got ice on my elbow with plastic wrap. I got ice on my shoulder. I probably should have called an ambulance, but I was walking. I was the last one out of the stadium. The last one out. My team was waiting for me at our bus, and this guy walks up to me, and he says, "Hey, Toby, my name's Matt Wondolowski. I'm with the New York Mets." He's like, he gave me have you guys ever had one of those questionnaires?
I know what it is, yeah.
It tells you height, weight, bat right, throw left, whatever, your pitches, this, that, and the third. I have filled out, and this is no BS, I have filled out 10 of these for different teams. I've pitched for the Braves. I showcased for the Braves, the Nationals. Which I'll get to that in a minute. But I was like, okay, sure, thank you. I took it, whatever. So my coach, like the end of the next week, he's like, "Hey, Toby, did you fill that out yet? Did you fill that questionnaire?" I was like, "Yeah, no, coach, I haven't. No, blah blah." Like I've done any. I don't know how many of these I've done. I haven't even had a scout come out and watch me. And he said, "Bring it to my office now." I said, "Okay." So I go down to his office at the gym, and I fill it out, and we mail it out. A month later, I get drafted by the New York Mets in the 16th round. But the basis of that story was, and that's why I asked if anyone was listening, was that scout was not there to watch me at all. He was there to watch their number 3 hitter, and I struck him out 3 times. their stud hitter was getting recruited by the Mets. And I had the game of my life with one person in the stands, and I got to live my childhood dream. I got to make it to the major leagues because I had the right game, the right time with the right person in the stands, which I didn't know he was going to be there. So it's not like I put on a show or, I showed up because, there's people here to watch. I better do me. No, I played the game right. I played the game hard, and it worked out for me. That I got drafted about a month later by the New York Mets. So
how was that phone call when you got drafted?
Well, I didn't get a phone call. So my scout, who he and I actually became best friends. I was downstairs at my mom and dad's house down in the basement. I was playing Slugfest on PlayStation. I'll never forget it. Have you guys ever played Slugfest?
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you'd beat people up, you have to drop
Yep.
the ball. So I'm playing Slugfest, and my dad's over there in like the living room area, chilling, watching TV. He said, "Tobe, you wanna go up and listen to the draft?" And I was like, "Sure." I don't get excited. I don't get my hopes up. What will be will be. That's the way I've always been. I never get animated or have expectations. So I was like, "Sure, Dad, let's go." So I hit pause on the game, and my scout told me, he's like, "Toby, if you're going to go, you're going to go somewhere between the 13th and 16th round, probably. If you're going to go, it's probably going to be then." And I don't have an agent. Heck, I signed. Oh, actually, I'll tell you this in a second. So I'm sitting there, and of course we had dial-up internet. So we got to dial up the internet. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All that fun stuff. So it takes 15 minutes. And so the format of the draft, when we opened up, went to MLB.com and opened up the draft link or whatever. And the format was like, I can't remember exactly how it worded, but first thing that comes on was Kansas City Royals select outfielder John Smith, number 53824. Kansas City Royals select outfielder John Smith, whatever. And then to move to the next, whoever was next in line for the draft pick. So we get up there and we're listening, me, my dad, and my sister just chilling, and it starts cutting out. So it starts, the select, not, but whatever. So we're like, so we close the link, we open the link back up. We open the link back up and same thing. So we shut down the computer, restart the internet or the computer, reboot up the internet. So now we're probably a week behind schedule, and we get the link opened up, and the first I swear to you, it just goes like this: open it up, open the link, and it says that concludes the first 15 rounds of the draft. We'll be back in 15 minutes to finish the day. And I'm like, did I go? Did I not go? I don't have a clue. So whatever. All right. So I was like, I'm going back downstairs. I'm going to go down and play Slugfest. So I go back downstairs and I'm playing Slugfest. My dad's back down. He's sitting in the recliner. And I'm sitting there playing. My sister upstairs, I don't know if you can hear this or not, but my sister was her feet running across the floor, screaming, "Toby, Toby, they said your name. Toby, you're a New York Met. Toby." I mean, like you would think she was getting murdered. And my dad slammed the recliner down as hard as he could. I went up there, and let me tell you, I never wanted to speak on a cell phone or a telephone for the next 3 weeks. My phone was ringing with incoming call. My house phone was ringing, incoming call. My dad's cell phone was ringing. I was like, "Thank you so much." Here, okay, thank you. I was passing 3 phones around, just trying to get through. Everybody calling me and congratulating me for being drafted. Well, going back to the New York Mets, my scout, he's like, "Toby, when it don't matter one day, when it doesn't matter, I'll tell you how you got screwed in the draft room." And he's like, "Right now it don't matter, but I'll tell you when you get older or whatever, when it doesn't matter." I was like, "Okay." Well, come to find out, we didn't have, I don't even know what the title of the guy would be, but we didn't have like an organizer of saying, if he goes, we're taking him. we didn't have anybody that had anything. It was just like they were just randomly taking crap, right? So, if the New York Mets, so the Nationals picked, but right before the Mets picked, and they picked catcher Pat Nichols, who I played summer ball with in 05 in the Valley League, the summer prior, and he was my catcher, or one of my catchers, and he was hugging his mom and dad and everything when he got drafted. Then he heard my name get called in the 16th round, he got picked in the 16th round, one pick before me. So he was hugging his mom and dad whenever they called my name, and got to, experience all that together. Well, I was told that if I did not go with the Mets in that 16th round, I was going to be a National in the 17th. The Nationals were taking me in the 17th, but they took Pat Nichols, the catcher, in the 16th before me. But 16th round, now again, I know things are different now with money and financially in the league and stuff like that. But 16th round, how much do you guys think I signed for it? And Dave, I don't know if I told you this or not, but
Probably 25K.
25K. Okay,
Yeah.
our Joe Smith was our number one. I don't know if you guys know Joe Smith, side armor, played with the Indians.
These two probably do. I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so he signed for 2.5 as our number one, and I went in the 16th round. It's not that many. That's not very far. But if he went the first round, went 2.5, and I went 16th, what do you think I signed? Dave, you said 25?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sean?
$4,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say somewhere between 4 and like 5.
I signed for $1,000. I signed for a jock strap and an opportunity. Maybe they may have thrown a Snicker. Listen, they maybe threw a Snicker bar in there. I don't know. But real talk was I stayed zero investment. I was a senior sign. I was a senior in college, so it's not like they had to weigh options. It's either I'm going to continue play. I'm going to sign for $1,000, or I'm not going to play professional baseball. So of course I took it. It was $776 after taxes. Yeah, and so when I say I signed for just on a dream, that's what I did, and it goes back to I love the game and I played it as hard as I could and I played it right, and the cards fell the way they should.
Man, that's awesome. That's a really, really cool outlook, number one. But then two, like, hear it all the time. You hear coaches preach it, and it's a testament to what people are talking about. Of you never know who is going to see you. You never know who's there. You never know who's watching. And like you said, I think more times than not, there's a lot of times that people are there watching other people, and then you get seen. And I've heard that story many and many a times, different ways, but there's always people, and it's a big world and a lot of communications, a lot of different things moving really, really fast. And it's awesome that it worked out that way for you, number one. But then number two, just the fact that the no expectation thing, I think, is awesome as well, because I hear a lot of young players in this day and age where they don't they think they deserve more than what they're willing to work for. And I think that there's a lot of young people in general out there that think, oh, well, if I'm just around, then it's going to happen, kind of a thing. And it's like, no, like that's not necessarily how that's going to work out. Like, you got to be willing to do all of the things and above all of the things to just get and fight for opportunities. But then on top of that, like, you just got to be willing to stay the course, and be willing to, fight your way through no matter what the adversity is, no matter what comes your way, and just find ways to compete and keep going, and find your way out. But that's amazing, man. That's an awesome story, and definitely cool. When you got in with the Mets, do you have any cool, obviously you mentioned the Pujols thing, but as you were kind of going through your training camp and like going through that type of stuff, was there any other, like on the professional side, like any fun things that you could share with us there, in the sense of going through camp and those kind of things, just kind of as we get closer to wrapping up?
Um, just the leadership that the veterans show. Anybody there? I know you guys talking about age. Anyone know Gary Sheffield?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, how would we not?
I'm just checking. So I was I was in left field with him in during BP when I got called up, and he's taking fungos from second base, and Gary Sheffield, been around 20, 25 years, been in the league a long time, and he still was taking fungos, ground balls during BP, still doing footwork, scooping up, crow hop, one hop skips to the bag at second base. Still putting in work in. Still doing repetitions. I don't know how many, I mean, 20 years, I forget, I don't know how long his career was, but how many fungos do you think he's taken from second base and balls he's thrown to the bag at second base? He's probably turned into a robot at this point. But he still was doing the work. At I think it might have been the last year that his last year in the major leagues. Maybe, I don't know. This was in 2009, and he was still doing reps as if he was a rookie. And just talking to him in the outfield, David Wright was like, when I came out, in New York with my major league debut, I came out and David Wright, the catcher threw the ball down, they throw the ball around. He walked it to me and he dropped it in my glove and said, "Hey, congratulations, man. Good luck." Like, that was cool. Yeah, it was cool, man. You carry your bag to the field in New York City and you play the game, and then you fly to Florida and you go to your hotel room and your bag's on your bed. It's pretty wild. I mean, that was wild. I was like, my personal luggage was on my bed in my room and in Florida, and I left New York City. I just got to New York City like 12 hours prior. And, the clubby comes out, takes my bag. And I was like, okay, cool. So then I go and play the game. We shower up, go to the airport, fly to Florida, drive a bus to the airport or to the hotel, walk in the hotel, get my key, go to my room. My personal luggage is on my bed. Would they teleport it? Like, what in the world? Like, that's when I was like, wow. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a new world there.
Yeah, but I going back to talk about the kids and thinking they just because they show up. Listen, I think that starts way, way, way before high school. That's society, bro, and it's so bad. It's the entitlement, participation trophies. No, it's changed, man. It's changed a lot. We could do a whole new segment on that, but
Facts.
It's changed. It's changed. And kids don't know what it's like to get their ass beat and get their ass jumped and fail. I mean, let's look at Michael Jordan, right? He got cut from his high school team. Greatest to ever play the game. Some people say arguably, but I'm going to
stand on that. Stand on that.
So, like, it's just, you got to fail to get better. You have to feel what it's like to suck. I promise you, you have to be willing to take that suck and be like, okay, I hate this. I need to do better. Instead of, this sucks, I don't like it anymore. And that's what society is. They don't know how to face adversity. And it's gonna, I think it's just, we're soft. It's getting soft, and I hate it.
We agree with you.
We're all biting our tongues because we know we're out of time.
I understand.
Yeah.
I get it.
We would definitely go.
Come back another time.
Yeah. Check back in.
You guys, let me know. I'll talk with you guys all day. This is great. I appreciate you.
Well, so Toby, we close out our podcast every time with a prayer. You're welcome to join us.
Please, yes, please,
and all of that good stuff. But it was honestly, dude, it was good to see you again and chat with you and hear your story. We don't do that with Fireball anymore, so because we're old and we don't play softball. So
I do.
But
I do.
Oh, Naj does. Naj is just picking up the softball bat, so he's still learning.
There you go.
But Sean, do you mind leading us in prayer?
Yeah. Do you really quick? Do you coach a team now?
I don't. I'm working at a federal prison right now. And the swing shift. I could show up to work and do 8. I could show up and do 16. I don't know. My high school coach one of the high school coaches wanted me to coach football. They want me to coach baseball. I can't commit because my schedule doesn't allow it. I'm trying to get to that, 7 to 3, 8 to 4 regiment within the federal prison. I'm trying to get out of the custody part of it, but I can't, it's a federal job, benefits. I can't pass that up right now. So, but I do pitching lessons on the side every now and again, a couple kids here and there.
You used to do that full time when you lived in Derby.
Yeah, about. Hey, real quick, do you guys watch The Voice?
Yes.
That Jalen Johnston kid.
Mm-hmm.
I gave him lessons for I don't know how many months.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Crazy.
Yeah, he does a lot of shows around here still.
Yeah, I cried whenever my guy called and told me he was on The Voice. I cried because that kid couldn't hit a garage door with a baseball if I asked him to. And I'm telling you, I'm not lying. I right hand to God. And he got to a point he worked and worked and worked and worked and worked until a point where he was popping strikes. It was, yeah. I had his school picture on my house when I moved, on my fridge in my house when I moved back home.
That's cool.
That kid.
Did he go to Derby?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The kid made me so proud, man. Kid, no athletic talent at all. And he was always, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, sir. He looked you in the eye. He was a sponge. And he made the high school team. He called and told me he made the high school team. I could have cried. I was
might have to see if you can connect us with him. Maybe we can have him on the pod. That'd be fun.
I can send him a text right now.
Heck yeah. That'd be cool.
We communicate. We still stay in touch. But yeah,
awesome.
go. Sorry.
Cool.
Go ahead.
No,
guys.
you're good. No, I was wanted to know that because didn't get there.
Yeah.
All right. Lord, thank you for another day, and thank you for a great weekend, great Sunday yesterday. I pray that everybody had an amazing Resurrection Sunday. But I also pray that that's not just the one day we set aside to celebrate that it's an everyday thing because he's alive every single day, not just one day out of the year, Lord. So I just pray that we recognize that and we worship you every single day because every day is resurrection. Lord, just thank you for Tobi taking his time and sharing his story with us. I pray that many people who listen can be impacted by it and take away that how special an opportunity is to play the beautiful game of baseball, and that is the main thing. It's not themselves, but it's baseball, and it's the work that you put in, Lord. So thank you for that message from Tobi today. I pray that you keep him safe at his job. I pray that you keep him and his kids he works with safe, and that they are he gets many more kids like Jalen who are sponges and want to learn and want to get better, Lord. In your glorious name I pray, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Well, Tobi, thank you so much for joining us. That is it for Season 2, Episode 9. Tobi Stoner with the New York Mets. And we'll catch you guys next time.